Okay, there we go. Well, hello, LuAnn. This is so exciting. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today. It's
Thanks for having me, Angie. I love chatting across the world. You in Australia and me in Minnesota, USA.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? So
It is.
yeah, and I'm so excited to be chatting with you today about something that's dear to my heart too, and obviously your heart, but about passion. So and the importance of it in the workplace, because yeah, there's lots of reasons why passion's important in the workplace. So I look forward to delving in a bit deeper with you. But I just wanted to introduce you to anybody who's watching or watching the replay. So say hi if you do come on and listen to us. I'd love you to pop in and say who you are and say hi. And if you're watching the replay, do say replay so that any questions or anything we can answer, we can come back and answer. So yeah, so I look forward to communicating with you on that. So LuAnn, let me share all about LuAnn. I've known LuAnn now, well, not all about LuAnn, but I've known LuAnn now for 5 years, like probably more actually, I don't know, but definitely 5 years since we met in San Diego.
Definitely.
At the Passion Test, well, actually more than 5, at the Passion Test Facilitators reunion that was way back in 2015. So yeah, so nearly 6 years
so
now.
That'd be 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, and it was an amazing event, having lots of people all together who share passion as one of their as a passion test facilitator. So our passion is so important in our lives, and so LuAnn has done amazing things. So not only is she a passion test facilitator, as I am as well, she's also a master trainer in the passion test for business. And I am a facilitator in the passion test for business. And that is a wonderful process that LuAnn is going to talk about, helping you to increase all sorts of customer engagement, employee engagement. It's just making the business like, you know, when there's passion, hey, the business thrives. So we'll talk all about that. And LuAnn is also a member of the Transformational Leadership Council, which is an amazing organisation that Jack Canfield created. And as a little aside, he actually created it by doing the passion test. And he realised that that was one of the things that was missing in his life. And he wanted to create an organisation or a membership or a group of people who are transformational leaders, and that's what he did. And he did that a long time ago. Hey, I don't know how many years now, but and there's all sorts of people.
14 years this year.
How many? Sorry.
It'll be 14 years this year.
Wow. So yeah, and there's so many people on there that I'm sure that you will all know that are in that part of that council. And so it's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure that you're here chatting with me today, because it's just, I mean, I love chatting with you, but I'm so happy that you're here sharing this important piece of information to all of the people on in our little group, in our tribes. So yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, so glad to be here. It's so important to everything we do, and it changed my life, and so I desire to help others change their life with the philosophies of the passion test. And I like to remind everybody that it's not a test. It's a process that we facilitate. That's why we're called facilitators. Facilitate individuals and groups through to identify their top 5 passions and use those as tools in their life to guide every decision that they make. In fact, we say the key to living a passionate life is whenever you are faced with a choice, a decision, or an opportunity, consistently choose in favor of your passions. So you kind of need to know what they are.
Oh, absolutely. I actually second you. It also changed my life too.
Yeah. And some people will say they know what they're passionate about, but then they are unable to articulate it to me. Right? It's like they kind of do have an intuition about it, and I believe that inside we know it, but it's becoming consciously aware of it and using it as a tool in your life to make every decision you make, which is why it is so important in business as well, because it becomes a decision-making tool for the business owner, for the employees, etc. That it's like core values. We're guided by them in everything that we do. And so that's why I encourage businesses to establish their top 5 passions. And that's okay. They can go back and call them core values, but we're going to use the passion test process and tools to help them get to those core values and identify them. And any good business owner knows that they need to have a foundation of core values by which to live and state who they are to the world and to their clients and to their employees. And this is how we live and breathe and operate. And that's what this work helps people to do.
Absolutely.
Is really hone in on those.
Yeah. And it's creating a culture, isn't it? You know, it's creating a culture for the business to move forward. It's that, you know,
well, it creates that culture because you base everything on your values, right? So your values establish the vision of that culture. And then when you live by them, that's what you end up filling your bucket with, right? So then now you look like all of those things, and that's the culture you're emanating into the world. And culture is so key to the success of organizations. And if you look at really successful organizations, they're all based in a very specific culture of what they've chosen to do and how they've chosen to even design their buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how people operate. Like my brother-in-law has established culture in his commercial construction company. And what it means to them is now plastered all over the walls. So they're reminded of it every day. And it's got a very strong history back into his great-grandfather. And that history timeline is on the wall throughout the building. So it's really cool. And they made a conscious decision to not put up walls between all the project managers, but rather it's this sea of open cubicles. And everybody got a Nerf gun with with their cubicle. And when they get stressed out, they break out into Nerf wars in the office just for fun. And so you're giving permission to people to have fun, to de-stress, right? And that's huge, right? So it's also giving permission to our employees to empower themselves to make decisions based on the core values.
Yes.
Do you know who Nordstrom's is in the United States?
I have heard of them, yes.
It's a top-end department store. And I heard that Nordstrom's has a one-page employee manual. It says, do the right thing. Do the next right thing in alignment with our values, and we will back you every time. If you can come back and say, I made this decision to do this based on this particular core value, then we're going to back you up. Even if it was maybe the wrong thing to do, we're going to say, okay, we know why you made the choice. Now here's the choice we might have made differently. But by and large, employees will, when they really own them, and that's a key to the whole process, is helping the employees really own those core values. That's when you're really creating culture. They have to be able to quote them, you know, and then take action in alignment with them. And that's all you're asking them to do. And then there's less micromanaging and more of employee imagination, opportunity to help with solutions rather than complain about problems. They want to take care of your customers. And guess what? Our employees are our greatest asset in any company. I learned that back in hospitality school, right? The employees are the front line of your business. And if those employees are not happy, then your customers aren't going to be happy either. You know, so sometimes I say happy employees, great culture, positive bottom line. That's what's going to happen, right? Happy customers, happy employees, happy bottom line is another one. That's what you want. And now, you know, if you look into it, there's lots of statistics around happiness in the workplace, which to me is passion in the workplace.
Absolutely.
Right? We've got to get into their heart to know what they're passionate about, align it with the organization's passions and where we're going, and then let them live it. And it's this light bulb that goes off in the employees that's like, oh, I mean, I'm here to fulfill my gifts, my talents, give of my authentic self, not just to collect a paycheck from that guy, you know? And they come to work with a whole new attitude of I'm here to fulfill what I was put on this planet to do, not just doing a job.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's you can tell, can't you? I mean, I'm sure everyone can tell, you know, if you're or you've worked with people who are engaged and you've worked with people who are disengaged, what the difference is in their attitude, that, you know, in their output, like their productivity, the whole thing is completely different. If you're engaged, you want to help that organization. You know, you want to do that. You want to help.
Yeah.
You want to really move things forward because you're loving it. You love what you do. If you're
That's right.
disengaged, you know, you're probably sitting on Facebook on your phone, you know, like, or whatever, you know, because you just don't want to be there. So you do the minimum that you have to just to get by, as opposed to really, really actively
Right. So that
helping.
so the employee engagement statistics, you know, that we quote from the passion test for business process, and anybody can confirm these, right? Gallup would tell you that only 26% of employees in any given business are engaged in their work. That means the other 74% of people are disengaged, or worse, actively disengaged, and are doing other things on your dime.
Yeah.
Now, that's a scary statistic. And so I actually think I scare potential clients with that number. They go, LuAnn, if I have you come in and do this work with my company, I'm going to lose 76% of my team. I can't afford to do that. And I'm like, oh, wait, back up. Back up. That is what the Gallup studies show, okay? But it's about moving those people that are disengaged into engagement. The actively disengaged people, they're going to find their way to the door. They're going to let themselves out. They're going to realize this is not the place for them. And what I have found is that those actively disengaged folks are only about 5%. The big chunk in the middle is people who intuitively found themselves in this work, this business, this company, but they're not consciously aware of why they're there. So they get caught up in what we call the BMWs, those employees that are bitching, moaning, and whining, and then they don't produce as highly as they could or would even like to, because they get dragged down by the lowest of the team. Because the lowest of the team doesn't want anybody producing over them. Otherwise, they might have look bad. And so they try and drag everybody down.
Yeah.
But once we go through the process and those employees, again, identify that their passion, their skill, their talent aligns with what needs to be done in that company, then that switch flips and they go, I'm coming to work to honor my gifts, to be authentically who I am, to be really great at who I am. And that's when things change. So I have really found that maybe we lose 5%. And if you remember in the LUE, listen up, Espanol, in the LUE process, they had a 10% reduction in overhead FTEs and increased their productivity by 30%.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
That's what we're talking about doing. So I say to business owners out there, please don't be afraid of this process. It's so powerful for you to be in love with what you created, what your business is, and then your employees love it. And when your employees love it, your customers love you, and now you become attractors instead of tractors rolling people over. You attract in the best employees, you attract in people who are like-minded, who want to live like you with the same core values, and then you attract in the customers that like what you're doing.
Absolutely. And the process is also very, very important for solopreneurs. So as a number, like a lot of my clients are solopreneurs, a number of people watching this will be, and it is still, even though LuAnn's been talking about, and you've been talking about companies and businesses with employees, it's still equally as important, even, for a solopreneur, isn't it? Like, so that they are on track, they know where to, especially since, because if you're a solopreneur, you've got often so many things to do, and you
Well,
can easily get off track. So it helps to get, the process helps to get you on track.
right. Gain clarity, focus on your direction,
Yep.
make decisions with ease and confidence,
Yes.
and then you get where you want to go faster than you ever imagined. It is the shiny objects, the distractions that take us off track, and then we take more time to get where we wanted to go in the first place.
Yes.
And so it was about getting crystal clear. Can I tell you a success story? It's my favorite.
Yeah.
This is a company that when I met this gentleman, he was a one-man show in fire, water damage restoration.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked out of his garage.
Wow.
And that's how he lived for very many years. And then finally he stepped in to my process. And the most unlikely of gentlemen that I would have seen stepping into my process, but he did. He stepped in and he said, I got to do this. I've got to change something. I'm not getting where I want to be. Okay. And we write a 10-year vision as a part of the process. And in his 10-year vision, he had a physical building. He had a team of employees beneath him that worked with him. And he had built the business up to a level that it was viable to sell it and he could retire. So this was his 10-year vision. We accomplished that with this process in 3 years, and he sold his business during a pandemic. So last October, he sold his business and he retired. I just talked to him the other day. I called him up. I'm like, your name just popped into my head. I had to see how you're doing. And he's like, I am so happy. He now has a lake home. He lives in northern Wisconsin. And he's like, I would not be here today, LuAnn, had we not done that process. He's like, it totally got clear. And there's so many pieces along the way about decisions that he made with complete confidence, and did so because it fit his vision. And he knew it was creating the ultimate picture that he had in mind.
Yes.
So yeah, it's exciting what it can do.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, the passion, having passion, it's not just in the business, but in your personal life too. You know, it's important to be able to have that as part of your life and live a life that you love, you know, knowing what your passions are. And I probably should just, like, when we talk about passions, we're not saying, oh, my passion is to go water skiing or whatever. It's the way that you live your life. It's the way you want your company to look. It's the way. It's not, you know, it's not a passion. Like, it's not, you know, it's, you know, like for me, for example, yeah, it's a why. My personal passion, you know, to live by the beach. I couldn't imagine not living by the beach. You know, that's the sort of thing we're talking about. It's not. People often think when you talk about the passion, you know, that it's, oh, I don't know what my passions are, but it's not passions as in doing something. It's the way you live.
The way you show up in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And the way you want to serve in the world, and the way you want, to live in the world. You know, and the other thing I like to tell people, Angie, and I don't know if you do it this way, but I do, is that anyone who opts in for my Passion Test for Business Passion Test for Business program, they are going to experience the personal passion test. You are one person, you have one heart, and you have to be your complete and whole authentic self in your personal life and in your business life. And I don't want to forget about that personal piece, but we also want to get very serious on the business side. So I do the personal piece first, so they get their top 5 passions, also so they understand what the process looks like. So when we go to the business level, they have a clearer mind about how to do the process with me effectively and really articulate their statements. And so then we also can take that and we say, okay, these are in your heart. We know you love your children and, you know, you want to be a good dad or whatever those are. And we're going to put them over here and say they're safe. We took care of those. They're safe and they're true. But now we're going to drill down into your business. And what are your top 5 passions for the business? which then become your core values that we can articulate to the rest of the world. Call them passions, call them core values. I don't care. They're the foundation of who you are, why you exist, why you serve who you serve, what do you want to contribute in the world, all of that good stuff. And that is what people want in the world today. The days of giving people a job and saying, just do what I tell you to do are gone. They're gone. They have to have meaning. People have to know the meaning of their work they're doing. Why is it happening? Why is it contributing? How is it making the world a better place? And this is just going to get more and more prevalent after this pandemic shift, right? And the moving into the age of Aquarius as we are, right? All of this is just going to be more prevalent, and it's all about collaboration. And guess what? Employees are your collaboration. If you're a solopreneur, you have other people that support you. Collaboration, strategic partners, a network. All those people need to know you authentically from your heart. And that's what this work helps you bring out into the world with confidence.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So I haven't heard Angie, and I know I'm going back to employees, and the solopreneurs are important as well, but the solopreneur has to love their own business. One of my clients is a plumber, and he's been a solo guy for years. Now he's going to build a team, so it's helping him to do that as well. But first he had to fall in love with it again, right? It's really hard to be a solopreneur, and you get beat up by the day-to-day and so much to get done. And so I say you have to love it in order to be your own boss.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're your own employee too.
Well, that's it. Yes.
And so you really have to love it and own that in order to persevere through it.
Yeah. It's about aligning your person. It's about aligning you, isn't it? Your personal passions and the business passions, so that they are aligned, so that, like you said, you're moving forward in that one direction. There's no difference.
Yeah. They used to talk about work-life balance. And there's no such thing in my world. Again, you only have one heart, one person. So you can't check your heart at the door when you go to the office, right? You bring it with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So if you're continually trying to create work-life balance, you're constantly in a struggle. What does that give us? Stress, anxiety, self-doubt. I can go on, even up to depression, which is an epidemic in our world today, right? So I want people to find what they love and just do that. Just do that, and guess what? Whatever that is, you can monetize it and get paid to do it. I guarantee it. Whatever it is,
Yes.
you can monetize it and get paid for it. And that's all we were put here to do, is to give our gifts into the world. And this helps you discover those gifts, be able to articulate them, and then live in joy with that. So I have this whole thing, Angie, about live and enjoy. I want to create joyful workplaces where people are happy to come to work. They want to come to work. We spend more time at work than we do anywhere else. So we should be happy doing that, right? Yes. So I think it's cool too. I've noticed, and more of this actually is happening from my understanding in the European world than it is in the US yet. But they have changed the HR acronym from human resources to happiness happy relationships. Happy relationships coach, right? About building happy relationships within the organization. We have to be there for each other on any team to support each other and all be rowing in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I did a presentation earlier today, and I had some shocking statistics that I looked up about happiness in the workplace. And one says that companies with happy employees outperform their competition by 20%. Yeah. Companies with happy employees outperform the competition by 20%. Happy salespeople produce 37% greater sales. 37%. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. And for a solo, oh, sorry, you have another statistic?
And one more, 36% of employees say they would give up, literally let go of $5,000 worth of their salary to be happier at work.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Less money.
Yeah. because they want to be happy.
You can invest in a passion test for a business coach for that $5,000, and that's only one employee, and we can help turn your business around.
Absolutely.
Create a happy workplace.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep. Awesome.
So I say, is it worth it, right? Is it worth, if you do your own math, right? If you can increase your sales by 37%, how much more revenue would you be generating?
Yeah. And you know, I'm just thinking too that you know, you're talking about the happiness and everything, and I can, you know, bring that back to the law of attraction. Like with the law of attraction, if you're happy, then your vibration is a lot higher, and as your vibration is a lot higher, you attract to you at that different level. That, you know, so that's like why people, like the salespeople, will earn more, because they're happy. They've got a higher vibration. They're vibrating at an abundance level, not at a lack level, and they're going to attract that. Like that's right. You know, so if you're happy, you're happy. You know,
it all works together, Angie, and that's the cool thing, right? And these are the passion test, the law of attraction, you know, all transformational tools that we have learned, me for sure, through my Transformational Leadership Council family, you know, and they have many other tools, and I work with any tool that I need to, depending on what's going on for my client. My foundation, the base of it, is the passion test. We're going to start there, and then we're going to see what comes out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as you know too, Angie, I'm highly involved with the BNI organization, Business Network International. And so I have a ton of resources all around the world of people that I can connect others to. So if I discover other things in working with them, or if I am not the right fit for them, I will connect them to someone else. So what I love to do is chats like this with business owners, just to get to know more about what's going on in their business, what's happening for them, and how can I help connect you to somebody else, help you with the tools I have, help give you a couple of golden nuggets that you can walk away with in the moment. That, you know, that just makes my day, to be having those conversations all day long with people and helping them find the resources, the people, the connections that they need to be successful.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Hey, thank you, LuAnn. Thank you for coming. You know, we'll pop your details, your contact details in the chat. So if people do want to contact you, they can get in touch with you. So we'll do that. I'll pop that in the chat. And it's so wonderful chatting with you today. I really, really love chatting with you. And you know, like we're saying, I love the passion test process is one that's changed my life too. And I know it's changed a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of people.
A lot of people have changed because of that process. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to catching up with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to come back anytime, because there's so much to chat about around this conversation.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Angie.
And I look forward to talking to you again sometime really soon.
Okay.
So, bye everybody. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.